Title IX gave a legal apparatus that trans and gender nonconforming people could use to give legitimacy to their claims of discrimination. Now that the policy is being restricted, there's no legal protections afforded for the compounded discrimination that trans people experience. That sends a message to employers, to public services, that it's okay to discriminate against trans people.
When you're talking about employment discrimination, what does that look like?
Oftentimes, gender nonconforming people like me are seen as not professional. So many times when we're applying for work, people will be like, well, we don't want someone like you in the front of the counter, or we don't want someone like you because you're making this about yourself and your appearance, you're a spectacle. They're just saying that they're discriminating on the basis of my appearance, but really that's my gender. And my gender identity is valid, one, and two, doesn't have any bearing on my ability to do work.
When you look at other countries around the world, are there any countries that you feel like are modeling the way that this administration, this country, could look at gender identity?
We've always just been so afraid of what's different, in this country. And that's what's happening here. It's just fear-based.
I think this country is actually deplorably behind when it comes to the gender identity conversation, right? So in large parts of South Asia, Nepal, India, it's actually legally recognized to be a third gender. Mm-hmm. Across Latin American places like Argentina, they have models around self-identification.
Being part of a community that our rights are dependent on which political party is in power is a really dangerous thing.
How would you like this administration or future administrations to acknowledge gender?
Well, I think that one of the things that we've been pushing for as a trans movement for decades is self-identification and self-determination of gender. Since this memo was leaked, calls to a trans suicide hotline have increased ×4. It's very difficult to wake up in a society, in a country, where you're told every single day that you don't exist. Imagine tomorrow, you say, hi, I'm, and then everyone's like, no, you're not. The schools are like, no, you're not. The employers are like, no, you're not. And then your government's like, no, you're not.
I'm most afraid for trans and non-binary youth. My life, for the most part, is going to stay the way that it is. But the work that I do isn't for me specifically. In bathrooms and locker rooms, those rules and regulations are going to change because of this legislation. It's just blatant erasure of an entire group of people.
So when this news came out that the Trump administration was planning to narrowly define gender, what has the conversation been like in your circles?
I never watched baseball, but a group of trans activists actually did a banner drop that said trans people deserve to live at the World Series.
At the World Series. One of my first reactions was, this is Trump and the administration using this hate, fear tactic to energize the base weeks before the midterms. But at the same time, what he's doing is energizing our base just as much. I have never seen this community come together in a way so powerfully that fast ever before.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.